squishymonster.com, and today I'm sharing with you my love for cinnamon rolls. Because is there anything quite like being enveloped by the swirl of warm spices or sinking your teeth into a hot, gooey cinnamon roll? The very first thing we want to do is melt together your butter and your milk, and I warm that up to 120 degrees, and I'm going to sprinkle in my yeast and give it a stir and let this sit for a few minutes. While my yeast is blooming, I'm going to mix together all of my dry ingredients. So I have some unbleached all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to sprinkle in just a little bit of salt to offset all the sweetness that we're going to introduce in later, and then some sugar. And I'm going to give that a whirl so all the dry ingredients get mixed together. Now you can knead this by hand and do this completely without any equipment, but I'm just going to let my dough hook do all of my work for me. So my yeast is about ready. I'm going to tip that in, as well as my room temperature egg. And just crack that in there and give it another whirl. You'll know your dough is ready when the dough is really smooth and supple. So I've just well greased a bowl right here. I'm just using some coconut oil, but you can use grapeseed, canola, veggie, even some sunflower oil, whatever you have on deck. And you'll know it's ready when it's soft and supple like this. It's smooth and kind of keeps together. So you just want to gather it all together and put it in this bowl and well oil it on each side. And then we're just going to cover with plastic and we're going to let it sit and poof for about 60 minutes. While we're waiting for our homemade dough to puff up, we can start on the filling. So you want to have some firmly packed brown sugar in a bowl, and if you firmly pack it, you get an accurate measurement that way. And to that, we're going to sprinkle in some cinnamon. You can also grate some fresh cinnamon sticks. I don't have any. And then this part is optional, but I like to add in just a touch of clove. I love the mystery that it evokes and that kind of extra boost of warmth. You just want to give that a mix, and that is your filling. Now this part you can really have fun with. You can have a pumpkin spice filling, you can add nuts or a variety of citrus zest. You can really have fun with this part and make it your own. When your dough becomes poofy, you're ready to roll it out. So unslip the cover, and it should just slip right out because it's been oiled, adequately oiled at least if it has been, and then just place it onto your work surface. And you can use a little bit of flour, just make sure you don't use too much, or you can just use the oily surface, the lubricated surface of your dough, and just roll it out. It's a rustic form, so you don't have to make it perfect. You just want to roll it out so you can fill with that, sprinkle with that filling, that cinnamon and clove and brown sugar filling. When it's been rolled out to your liking, you can dab with melted butter. Just the whole entire surface area of this. After a liberal brushing of butter, you can sprinkle on your filling. There's no rhyme or rhythm to this, just make sure you leave somewhat of a border around the edges so your filling doesn't burst out while it's baking. And make sure this is liberal as well, because as it bakes it gets really caramely and gooey, and that honeyed sweetness kind of absorbs throughout the dough. It gets so yummy, and of course that's one of the best parts of cinnamon rolls, that spice, and then of course that cream cheese frosting we're about to make here soon. The very next step is to roll. So you just want to take the first part and just fold it, and then from there just roll it like a jelly roll, kind of like I did for my pumpkin roll cake video. I'll provide that link if you're interested. And just go as tightly without bursting anything and roll it as tightly as you can. Now all we have to do after we've rolled is cut. So I have a well-greased dish sitting beside me just so I can make sure that I have something to put all my cut cinnamon rolls into after I've cut them up. And it's just been well-greased with some more butter. And this is when I'm going to dust my cutter, I think, while I'm cutting my cinnamon rolls. And with the pan shape, it doesn't have to be exact. Just use whatever pan shape or size that you like. This is just the first thing that I saw. So you can cut these as fat or as skinny as you'd like. I think I'm gonna just cut them, just eyeball them as I'm going. Upon further thought, I decided they fit better in here, so I transferred my cinnamon rolls into a smaller dish. And now all you have to do is cover it yet again and let it sit covered for 30 minutes until they poof up even further. As y'all know, cream cheese icing is one of my favorite things in the entire world. So in this bowl, I'm going to whip together this really luscious cream cheese icing that I'm gonna really enjoy slathering on those fat cinnamon rolls. And in there, I have some softened room temperature cream cheese and butter. I'm gonna sprinkle in just a little bit of salt to offset all the sugar and sweetness from the powdered sugar, but not before I tip in a little bit of high quality vanilla extract, just a little dribble or so. And then I'm going to sift in my confectioner's sugar. So here are what my fat, chubby little babies look like after an additional 30 minutes has elapsed, and you see they've risen beautifully. So they are now ready to go into a preheated oven. And don't worry, baking it off is going to be the shortest period in this entire process ever. So you're just moments away from sinking your teeth into these babies. Here's my cinnamon roll to give a try. Let's see how it tastes. That's so soft, and I love the swirl of cinnamon spice you can see. Every bite is like a big ol' hug between the warm and rich spices, the tenderness of the roll, and the melt in your mouth experience. You guys have got to give this a try. I really hope you do. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys, and thanks for hanging out with me. This is Angela Kim from thesquishymonster.com, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!
On the floor.